So I've been doing Model UN since sophomore year. I decided to try to do like speech and debate freshman year, and then decided that was really dumb. So then I decided to do Model UN, and it was a lot better. It was, and it still is. And I remember my first conference ever, WAMUNC, as I was a sophomore. I hadn't owned a suit, before then at all. So like, I don't know, the summer beforehand, I went with my dad to like a thrift store or something and got like a $6 suit, which was pretty good for a $6 suit, but it didn't fit me at all or anything. And I just got on the train and I did my research. I was nervous and everything, and yeah, I looked like a hobo at my first conference, but that's fine because that encouraged me to get a new suit for Brown, and Brown is really probably the best conference, in my opinion, that we go to. And my sophomore year at Brown, it was, it was fine. But junior and senior year were pretty great. And junior year, especially, regrettably, neither Gu nor Ali Reza are here to share the story of why we had to buy Miss Bushman a cake. Yeah. So it all kind of started with with Busen's delegate dance, where before the dance they have pizza and they have soda, and they don't have anyone watching the soda. So me and a few others thought, why don't we figure out how many cans of soda we can sneak back to the hotel without them noticing, and then we'll just try to drink all of it that night. Which is two really bad ideas, which is probably why we decided to do it. So yeah, we had some designated like takers that we would sidle up to the big shelf that had the huge cans. Then we'd grab 2 or 3, open one maybe to make it look like we were actually drinking, and then we toss them to the other people who would quickly stuff them in the backpack, or into the pockets of the suits. That's really how you find out how many pockets your suit really has. When each one of them has at least 2 cans of soda. And then Muhammad even, put a few in the hood of his coat. It was beautiful. We were pros. Yeah, no, we beat that. Okay, so we got to the hotel, and we were actually pretty weighed down. It was a lot of soda. So we all piled into one of the kids' rooms, and we're like, okay, let's just empty them all on the bed and see how many we have. So each of us, just started taking them out from our suit and our pants and everything. And some of us had like 5, some of us had like 18, and yeah, I think around that was the highest. And so we totaled around 80 something, and then Ali Reza remembered his backpack, and he had emptied out all his research materials for the soda. So then he piled all those in, and I think we broke 100 on this one, which we were very proud of. So then we're like, shit, we've got a bed full of soda. What do we do now? So before we divvied them all up, we decided to make a tower out of them. Because clearly, that's what you have to do. So we went into the hall and built a tower that was taller than Zach. Yes. And we did, we all, took photos in front of it. And it was pretty awesome. And then, Miss Bushman walked by and was like, what is that? And at first we were like, no, you probably don't want to know. And then we realized, she doesn't actually care. So we told her our master plan. And I think you were really kind of proud of us, even if you wouldn't quite admit it. So we were done with our photo shoot. And so then we divvied up the soda. And we started drinking the soda. And we all drank a lot of soda. And we were a little hyper that night. And just to, compound on the bad ideas of that night and that conference, we decided to hang out in the room adjacent to Miss Bushman's. Which, yeah, that wasn't a good idea. So yeah, we were hanging out and playing really stupid games involving
the pillows.
Yeah, the pillows. We had this, game where we had the pillow because they had those really long, oblong pillows that were like so firm you couldn't actually do anything with them. So we were like, okay, how can we possibly use this? So we bounced them on our head and reached the ceiling. And the game was to try to smack the other guy's pillow off his head and have yours on, which I am very good at. Yes. And that ended up causing, it was really fun. And it was also really loud. So, at one point, an hour after curfew or so, Miss Bushman comes in and is like, okay, guys, go to bed. Seriously, go to bed. And so we're like, okay, Miss Bushman, we'll go to bed. And then we don't, obviously. And we keep doing it. Bad ideas, it's a theme. And so then eventually, we realize we're making a lot of noise. And we're like, okay, maybe we should try to leave. So we try to leave, and then in the process of, leaving the room, Miss Bushman comes out again. And yeah, this is the maddest I've ever seen you. And it was also the first time I've ever heard you curse, which was quite awe-inspiring. So you just walked up to us, shoulders down, you're like, get the fuck back to your house. We were... It was beyond deer in the headlights. It was, oh my God. So we ran up the stairs back to our room. Ran. And so the next morning, we think, wow, we really fucked up. Which was true. So we were trying to think of how we can make it up to Miss Bushman. And we decide, we can't just, say we're sorry. So let's get her a cake. So we got up early, and we skipped breakfast. We ran out the door instead of going to Elbow Pound with the rest of the club. And we're like, okay, let's find a cake. Let's find a place where we can get a cake. And we could have, gone online and searched this. We could have, borrowed an iPhone or something along those lines. But we didn't, clearly. So we just kind of wandered around Providence, and about every third person we saw on the street, we asked them, do you know where we can get some cake? With varying degrees of creepiness. And this was me, Ali Reza, and James Goo. In the morning, we were, probably had bags under our eyes and everything. I was wearing my trench coat, of course. Yes, and my fedora. So yeah, we probably creeped some people out. And eventually, we found our way to like a market basket or something, a mile away from Brown campus. Probably not where you're supposed to be. But so we walk in, and we find a cake. We're like, okay, this is it. We got a pretty big one. And so we buy it. And then on the street, walking back out of it, I trip, and right in front of me was a $20 bill. And so it was clearly a sign from God that we were meant to buy Miss Bushman this cake. And so we're like, okay, this is awesome. Our day just, got better by way much. And so, but then we realized that, our committee starts in 15 minutes. And we're about, half hour away. So we call a cab, and we're like, yeah, this probably isn't going to work. But whatever. We try to do it. And we do, actually. We give him like a $5 tip because he, broke probably a fair amount of traffic laws, getting us back to Brown campus on time. And we kind of swap off having the cake. I had it for the first session, then I handed off to Goo in the afternoon session, and then, then Ali Reza takes it, and then he hangs on to it, and at one point he, comes up to me and is like, oh my God, Joseph, I tripped and I dropped the cake. And I was about to punch him in the face. But luckily for him, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just kidding. And I was still tempted to punch him in the face. And so we, suddenly, or at least we thought we were subtle, we got on the bus on Sunday, and we've been carrying it and try to conceal it a little bit. And then on the bus, we decide, okay, screw it. We'll just we'll give it to her now, and we'll say we're sorry, and we'll hope that it's all good. And we do. And I'd like to think it worked out in the end, mostly because when we got back to Stein and ate the cake, it was really good. I ate a lot of it. So yeah, that's Brown.
No, you're not done. That was a 20-minute long.